I'm Devi here, offering a general reading. As always, explore what resonates and disregard what doesn't feel a fit for you. And it feels like success is like inevitable. Like you can have success, and are you willing to work for it? And I think it's important to stress that success is relative, right? Some days success is getting out of bed and taking a shower, or remaining no contact if we're in an unhealthy connection, or it could be simple, or choosing vegetables over the candy bar. Like that's a win, and that's worth celebrating. You are worth celebrating, and you are worth the effort it takes to remain steady on your path. And so where do you want to grow? How do you want to align? And how are the current energies and emotions reminding you of your personal strength and power? You have free will to continue with your status quo, or what you were born into, or what you've become accustomed to, and you have the opportunity to level up. And in that leveling up, it requires you to release emotionally. And part of change is letting go of one thing to allow another. And I'm kind of thinking of like middle school to high school, like every transition in life has a sense of discomfort because we're leaving what's familiar. And will you keep your eyes on the prize to see what is possible for you to grow into? What do you really want? And what's most important to you? When you check in with the heart, when you listen to the soul, when you listen to your intuitive guidance, what do you know to be true? And then those tugs at your emotional body, or the humans around you, or the physical manifestation not yet turned reality, or you having to do some work in the material to make that transition or that change. Will you express gratitude? Sometimes when I'm using what am I using? I can't remember, but I relate this to the material. And rather than being like, there's not enough in the bank account, there's not enough to make it happen, can you pull in gratitude for what you're able to bring in, or what experiences have been laid forth for you? Oh, we got a ladybug. That's on my big two. Let's see. Yeah, a ladybug. We're like, it's only a matter of time. Temperance, manipulation. If you experience too much manipulation, where you're not willing to believe in your manifestation, what if we turn that around and use what's at your access to make it happen and heal? Resources and concentration. So working with the mental body enough to not to disregard where you've been, but not let that tether you back. Are you overindulging in some way that keeps you from where you want to grow, right? If we flip that around, allowing your wish to come true, allowing it. Like, part of you wants that. Are you willing to believe it and see it through? Next bottom deck energy. Feeling like overburdened. The word here is weakness, but flip that around. It's your strength. It's your strength. And you're being asked to step into a new strength. Rather than cut off from the emotional body, can you have compassion for where you want to be? Okay. So yesterday, I thought I was going to do a general reading, and I didn't get the green light for it, but I got some information. And when I was on my drive, I was reminded of something. So I was taking classes at Atlantic University, and one of our assignments was to hold a pillow and cry. And I was like, no way, no how. Like, that is not happening. Like, I am not holding a pillow and crying. And such an aversion to it, and I stayed with that aversion. Fast forward, one way that I'll listen to YouTube is I don't sign in. I was on my iPad. I would just keep clearing the field and just refresh it and just whatever pops up. Well, this one talk about inner child wounding kept coming up. And I was like, okay, let me listen to this. And he spoke to something similar to having, like, he used like a stuffed animal, like hold it, coddle it, love it. And it was a way to externalize the experience. If you know IFS language, like externalize that part of the self for the current self and that inner child to bond, to form a relationship, a love rather than an aversion. Because in that aversion is where we kick up in behaviors and start to find ourselves in a mental emotional looping that prevents us from moving forward. So that love that we give ourselves internally is fast tracking our healing and moving us forward. And since I get a kick out of Baby Yoda memes, I'll literally laugh out loud. I went ahead and got myself a Baby Yoda and I held it. And at first it was really awkward because I was just like, there's this plastic eyeball looking at me. But in a sense, that was my way of, because I recognized the aversion over and over again, I was like, okay, I can't keep running from myself. And that's what it feels like the current energies are saying. The emotions, the fears are pushing up to say, are you going to open the floodgates and just let it out? Why are we so afraid of those floodgates? Myself included. So, all right, got two more decks here. I would pay attention to cycles, moon specifically, or how certain planets are working within your field of awareness. And what I do like about astrology is it's no different than when we turn on the weather, right? It's like, how should I pack? Do I need the umbrella? And it's like, for me, it's also a sense of validation in the collective energies of what's happening. And perhaps it's no longer needing a validation, but trusting the self to relate to the self enough to where that validation isn't necessary. Planting the seeds, speaking it forth. You. It's about you and your own happiness. You are your own knight in shining armor. Why are you holding yourself back from your own happiness? Why are you holding on to a connection that isn't giving you a return, that isn't filling your emotional cup? Why are you allowing yourself to feel miserable in a job over and over again? Why are you talking yourself down from what it is you want and what it is you need to be happy? One thought is a seed. Satnam is a seed mantra. You hear me say that, and it's the truth within. Okay, and what are you burying deep within that you're not allowing to grow? Or is it a weed that needs to be pulled? Kind of, it's like tending your own garden. The Queen of Swords, she knows. She's not another ladybug. She knows how to cut things out. And if you think about working in sculpture, there is, just like when you're drawing, you're working with the light and the dark. When you're working with sculpture, you're looking at the positive, negative, like what's in the 3D, what can you carve away to bring in something more. And the light codes are there to activate you, to push you in and recognize your own resistance to your own soul calling. Because the door will open. The bus stop is there. The train schedule is there. It's up to you to step on the train. It's up to you to get to the bus stop on time. It's up to you to do your due diligence. walkabout. You discover your path in a sacred walkabout. The trees are your people. The earth is your tribe. The indigenous lessons you will find. The will to survive. Because the image speaks to you. So it's you stepping in. A moment's joy. Sand through the hourglass, yet time could stand still. A moment lasts forever in the bliss of the heart's will. Take the time to sit with the heart. Take time to sit with the light. Take time to allow the light codes to come in, because once they come in, it requires you to do some extra work. It's just like you say that prayer, you say that manifestation, you step up and follow through. And this is dance with the divine, somewhere between, like, you know, the Fool's card, like jumping in. It's also like speaking, it's like working with all your bodies. Okay, the emotional body is telling me this, the mental body is telling me this, my intuition is telling me this, the divine is delivering this, and finding your way to navigate on this plane and find a peaceful existence. The next bottom deck, to heal. Because each level you heal from the past gives you a new doorway. Gives you a new doorway, and will you step through? Well, I do hope this served well. Sending lots of love and light your way.